Speaking of tomorrow, earlier mentioned Trump's end of democracy speech. We're doing another round of Senate inquiries here for Blanche and Clayton, and they're predictably funny, or maybe grim. I don't know how funny you find the end of American democracy.
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Who's Clayton? Clayton is looking to replace Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. Blanche is looking to replace Pam Bondi as Director, or as Attorney General.
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won?
I'm not getting into that with you. What about that isn't forthright?
The 2020
I think I've answered
election?
the question. We can keep doing this.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and forthright.
I'm not going to
committee.
engage in the theater.
It's a simple question, Mr. Clayton.
And I've answered.
Who won the 2020 presidential election?
I've answered it.
You're here asking for the support of senators to lead America's intelligence community. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with this committee and with the American public, but you refuse to answer a simple matter of fact about the 2020 election. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Then answer the question. Who won the 2020 election?
I have answered the question.
Answer it. What is your answer?
The best thing about it is that it doesn't matter. He'll still get confirmed with that issue. I'm still waiting for a liberal to explain to me what the solution to this is. I feel like they just shrug. You know what I mean? What do you do when half of the political, when half of elected officials are so willfully, obviously dishonest and corrupt and complicit in the downfall of this country that like nothing matters? Like there's not even a process or anything. The gentlemen's agreements have completely melted down. I have not received like anything.
I've given you my answer.
What is your answer? You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election, but you asked to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions? We know, you know, everybody in this room knows the truthful answer to that question. Why can you not give it?
I think I gave you the answer.
That you're not answering. Yeah. Could they force through a law or something that kicks out everyone who refused to answer this question? No, it doesn't work that way. That is not on the table. Also, why would Republicans vote for that law? Can he be compelled to answer or held in contempt? Nope, he cannot. He's just saying he refuses to answer it. The only response Democrats have is to not vote for him, which, like, okay, Republicans will vote for him, and then he'll go through. And the Senate is institutionally biased towards Republicans. Treason charges? This isn't treason. He's not violating the law, much as it feels like treason.
How long do you intend to put up with that Kash Patel character? Are you good with his airplane jaunts? Are you confident he's not drinking on the job? Are you sure none of his travel is a pretext for vacation activities like snorkeling, Olympics, and visiting girlfriends? Are you sure he knows what he's doing? Do you vouch for him? Are you willing to look at whether he lied to this committee?
That's an extraordinarily obnoxious question, Senator, and I have full faith in Director Patel and the work that he's doing every day.
Great, you get to own that. How long do you intend to put up?
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer, was his lawyer, and now I'm the Deputy Attorney General. So
Crazy, man. Insane.
I met him as his criminal defense attorney. I'm not sure there's very many people who have ever had a criminal defense attorney who calls that person their friend. I now have a...
Well, let me put it this way. Are you enemies?
No, we're not enemies at all. No.
Have you ever...
Did you discuss her transfer to another institution, yes or no?
No.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, just 1 week after your meeting, Ms. Maxwell was transferred from a low-security federal institution to a minimum security prison camp. Were you involved with that transfer?
When, as I've talked about before, in the time leading up to me going down to meet with her, we learned that she was receiving threats. It turned out.
I'm going to interrupt you for a matter of time because.
Okay, well, it's not a question I can answer apparently in the time you're giving me.
I'm going to tell you this because I deal with issues of criminal justice. When people are under threats in a Bureau of Prison facility, they're put into solitary confinement or protective. They're not moved to a camp.
That's not always true.
It is.
You're
Well,
just wrong.
what is true is someone that is accused of child sex trafficking under the Bureau of Prison's own policies is not put in a facility like this that seems clearly like a reward.
Neat. Speaking of Epstein.
Yes.
Other than to himself, who, if anyone else, did Mr. Epstein traffic young women to?
There's from what we learned, from what we know. So when we know, I mean, what's in the FBI files and what's in the DOJ files, we did not identify evidence. And by we, I mean career prosecutors, not me, not my leadership, but career prosecutors in New York and career prosecutors in Florida who worked this case hard, did identify other participants, some of whom, as has been discussed, were also victims themselves of Mr. Epstein. But we did not have evidence, as of now, of other men who were that were trafficked, that Epstein helped traffic. That does not mean it didn't happen, and I want to be clear about that.
This is also obviously a lie. They've redacted so many names of male clients from the Epstein files. There's no other reason for them to do that. It defies credibility. This is the line they're taking now, of course, that the Epstein file, they've been saying this for a while. Patel said that there was no evidence of any criminality. Then they were forced to release some of the files, and obviously there was evidence of criminality. Boatloads and boatloads of FBI documents incriminating lots of people, and a lot of censorship in those documents, so on and so on, Just insane, man. I think, here, Carolyn Levitt was doing this earlier today, too.
But if you look at how this Epstein story sort of evolved over the past week, it's classic Washington hoax.
Yes.
You have Democrats on the Oversight Committee leaking redacted information to their favorite reporter at CNN, who then pops the story with that redacted information and does not reveal that the unredacted version is available. And the unredacted version proves that the so-called victim in this email is a woman who is unfortunately deceased, but prior to her death said on numerous occasions that President Trump never did anything wrong and was always incredibly friendly in her interactions with him.
She didn't say that. Well, she said that he was cordial with her, but she just said that he wasn't one of the people who raped her.
And so it's a purposeful leak to try to manufacture this news cycle to drag the president. And we've seen this play out so many times. It is a classic playbook.
Also, she didn't die. She killed herself. I feel like that's kind of a noteworthy point.
Of the Democrats using their friends in the fake news to...
I mean, killing yourself means you die, of course, but, a degree of specificity here. Sounds a little bit more ghoulish to say this woman before she killed herself than this woman before she tragically died,
spin up a narrative about the president. And so we just don't tolerate it. We don't give in. We just call it out for what it is. And we move on and we focus on the issues that we know the president was elected on. And I would just add one more thing on Epstein. I mean, the Department of Justice has turned over tens of thousands of pages to the House Oversight Committee and to the American people. I mean, they released everything that's legally releasable online or to the House Oversight Committee. They also tried to move grand juries to unseal documents in various states. And unfortunately, those judges declined. And they've been fully cooperating with the House Oversight Committee. So this idea that there's files that the DOJ is hiding or that this administration is not being transparent is just...
Anyway, I feel like this is it's a good example of what I was saying earlier with regard to Ro Khanna about the consequence of lying for political gain. Republicans lied for years about how the deep state was covering up Epstein's suicide, that it was actually like the Clintons or whatever. They fueled the flames of a conspiratorial inquiry for years and years and years. And then it all blew up in their faces because then like Trump, who's the biggest pedophile ever, second only to Epstein, I suppose, becomes president. And it's like Trump's like, no, don't release these files. Don't stop. And that ends up being a big fucking snafu for them, you know? England just scored. That's great. That's great. Thank you. I'm glad you all are having fun. Who's the second monitor, huh? Pieces of shit. I'm on to you. I'm on to you. Main monitor is Balitro? Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I feel like I couldn't listen to politics while doing Balitro. Balitro requires a bit of concentration, you know? You gotta pull a bit of brain math, you know? I can't do math while listening to politics. Maybe I'm weak. Maybe you're strong. Who knows? I don't concentrate and I lose. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.